I turned 30 recently. I watch movies very differently, because you understand, for years and years, I was a child. And when I would watch an action movie, I would identify with the action hero who's trying to help people. Now when I watch an action movie, I only identify with, like, the side characters who are off in the corner rolling their eyes. You know, the ones that are like, Spider-Man, like those types? That's how I'd feel if I heard about a Spider-Man. You know who's my favorite action hero when I was a kid? Was Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly in Back to the Future. He was my hero. I loved Marty McFly. He's great, right? I wanted to be like him in every way. I watched that movie again recently. Marty McFly is a 17-year-old high school student whose best friend is a disgraced nuclear physicist. And I shit you not, they never explain how they became friends. And we were all fine with it. We never even asked, you know? That we were just like, who's his best friend? A disgraced nuclear physicist? Okay, yeah, proceed, yeah. No, just good, proceed with the movie. I know Back to the Future is a great movie and a hit movie. It's a very weird movie. I just watched it again. It has a lot of weird things in it. Two guys had to go in and sell that movie. Two guys had to go into a movie studio and be like, okay, so we have an idea for the next huge family action movie. And it's about a guy named Marty, and he's a high school student, and he's very lazy. He's always sleeping late. And they were like, okay, is he cool like Ferris Bueller? No. But he has a best friend, who's a disgraced nuclear physicist. I'm sorry, I'm confused. This is another student, or oh no. This other guy is either like 40 or 80. Even we don't know how old he's supposed to be. Anyway, so one day, the boy and the scientist, they build a time machine. Whoa. Okay, I think I see where this is going now. Let me guess. They build a time machine and they go back in time and they stop the Kennedy assassination. Ah, no. No, yeah, that's a really good idea. No, yeah, we didn't even think of that. Okay, well, what do they do with the time machine? Well, now I'm embarrassed to say. No, all right, here goes nothing. We thought, that it would be fun for people if the boy, he went back in time and he tried to fuck his mom. We thought that would be fun. And then, but don't worry, he doesn't get to fuck the mom because this family friend named Biff shows up and he tries to rape the mom, in front of the son. And then the dad, he has to beat the rapist off of her. And we're also gonna say that a white man wrote Johnny Be Good, so we're gonna take that away from them. Well, this sounds like a fantastic movie. We are definitely gonna make this. Now, you say that they go to the past. Do you wanna call it Back to the Past? No. Back to the Future. Right, but they go to the past. Yeah. I always wanted to live in New York when I was a kid. I'm so excited that I get to live in New York. I saw New York City in a movie when I was a kid. It was called Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. It is a sequel. Yeah, how about that movie? It was a sequel to the movie Home Alone. I remember in that movie, the kid in Home Alone 2, he gets into a stretch limousine on 5th Avenue with a large cheese pizza, and I thought, this is the height of luxury! Now I live in New York, and I'm psyched, but that is a stupid movie title. Lost in New York, the streets are numbered. How'd you get lost in New York? I know it's kind of stupid to complain about a movie that came out 17 years ago, but I wasn't a comedian back then. So I have to do it now. I wish I'd been a Def Jam comic when that movie came out. I would have torn it to pieces. Be like, you seen it? You seen this Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? It's a grid system, mother. Where you at? 24th and 5th? Where you want to go? 35th and 6th? 11 up and 1 over, you simple bitch. That'd be my big joke. That'd be the closer if I was a Def Jam comic when that movie came out.
We want to say, for the record, there is no better performance in the 1990s than Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone, and he deserved an Oscar nomination and an Oscar. for that role. If you have a Macaulay Culkin story, call me at my personal number.
Now the Oscar for Achievement in Sound. You know, for years, movies didn't have sound, and then they figured it out. Some people say that the silent era was the golden era of film. These people are difficult and insane. Without sound, we wouldn't have been able to hear such classic lines as, "You're gonna need a bigger boat. I'll have what she's having." And he was in the Amazon with my mother when she was researching spiders just before she died. Or what about that moment in Field of Dreams when we hear, "If you build it, he will come." And then Costner does it. He builds a baseball field. Or I guess he doesn't build it. He mows down corn, and then there is a field. And then he's like, "I'm going to watch Ghost play baseball." And the bank is like, "You want to pay your mortgage?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm going to watch Ghost play baseball." And then he finds James Earl Jones, who wrote The Boat Rocker, which I thought was a real book deep into my 20s. And he's like, "People will come, Ray." He's the only one with a financial plan. But what's weird is Timothy Busfield pushes little Gabby Hoffman off the bleachers, and she falls down, and she's unconscious. Then Burt Lancaster is Moonlight Graham, and he comes up and he pats her on the back a couple times, and he's like, "Hot dog stuck in the throat." And then he can't go back in the game. Because I guess there's a rule in Ghost Baseball that if you leave the field at any point to become an elderly ghost and do the Heimlich maneuver, you can't return to the field. I love Field of Dreams. That should win Best Picture. Though they'll probably go with one of this year's. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Sound. So I went with my mom as her date to reconnect with Governor Bill Clinton. We walked into the ballroom. It was a big hotel ballroom. It was the Palmer House Hilton, big Hilton hotel ballroom. Walked into the ballroom. It was packed with people. It's actually, it's the ballroom from the end of the movie The Fugitive. Remember that? So, that ballroom. So, my mom and I walk in. It's packed with people. The end where Harrison Ford as Dr. Richard Kimball bursts in to confront Dr. Charles Nichols, right? Okay, so, that ballroom. So, my mom and I walk in. It's packed with people. Why does Kimball confront Nichols? Well, I know we all know this, but Kimball, he found out that Nichols, along with Devlin McGregor and Lentz, who's mysteriously died, they had hired Frederick Sykes, the one-armed man, to kill Kimball. Kimball's wife wasn't even the target. I know we all know this, but they were going to kill Kimball because he wasn't going to approve certain liver samples to pass RUD-90. So Kimball finds out about all of this, and of course he's furious. And he bursts in the ballroom and he goes, "You switched the samples!" And Dr. Nichols is like, "Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Dr. Richard Kimball." What accent did that guy have, by the way? He goes, "You switched the samples, and you doctored your research so that you could have Provasic." Anyway, so it's that ballroom. So we walk into that ballroom. It was packed with people. It was packed with people. A real who's not of Chicago celebrities. This is a beautiful event. I'm really happy that Lauren and Seth had me at this. It's great to give to charity. You gotta be careful about who you give to, though. Because sometimes you give to someone that you think is deserving, and then there's someone else who is equally deserving, and they totally get shafted. Like in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What if I didn't explain what I meant? Like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. All right, good night, everybody. No. Remember, Charlie gets a golden ticket. He can take one person with him to Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. And he says, "I know who I'll take. I'll take Grandpa Joe." And Grandpa Joe says, "Really, Charlie? You're gonna take me?" And they go to Wonka's factory, and there's some shenanigans, but there's a lot of life lessons. And in the end, they get the greatest gift of all. And it's a wonderful tale of the human heart, isn't it? Well, guess what? Charlie has a whole other grandfather, and he doesn't give that other grandfather jack shit. His name is Grandpa George, in case you've forgotten. It's Grandpa George, and he sleeps in the same bed, foot to foot with Grandpa Joe, and he looks like a turtle, and he doesn't have a line in the movie, and he doesn't get a goddamn thing. Charlie Bucket waltzes in, waving gold around, and goes, "I know who I'll take." And then he walks over to that 4-person nightmare that is his grandparents' bed.
He walks over to that Mount Rushmore of bed sores. He goes, I'm gonna take Grandpa Joe, and he kind of gives the finger to the other three grandparents. And now maybe you're thinking, hey, Grandpa Joe, maybe he deserved to go. He had a tough life, right? Because remember Grandpa Joe, he says, I don't know if I can go, Charlie. I haven't walked in 40 years. Wait, let me check. And then he lifts the world's worst smelling duvet. And he gets out of bed and he can walk. Fuck you. You could walk this whole time, you walrus mustache son of a bitch. You John Bolton looking asshole. We've been supporting you while my mother cooks laundry soup while singing Cheer Up Charlie, which is an awful song. And we all fast forward through it.